What is happening, fellow gamers? Thanks for tuning in to another episode on TheOvershield.com. I'm your co-host Manny, and today I'm going to review the Japanese musical sensation Hatsune Miku Project Diva F for the PlayStation Vita. Can this game rekindle the DDR days of old with our fingers, or are we in for another diabolical J-pop disaster? Let's find out and hit the stage, shall we? The story. I'm gonna put this bluntly. The story is either non-existent, or if there is such a thing, it has been buried so deep into its gameplay that one struggles to find rhyme or reason to the madness. The opening cutscene prior to the game's start menu suggests that we're playing through the musical careers of 6 aspiring vocalists, who all share the one commonality of friendship. As to what motivates this group to stardom remains unknown to me. This includes the lack of knowing what introduced them to singing, what their career goals are, or how they even met. What we are given at the start of the game is Hatsune Miku, along with her renowned turquoise blotty linked hair and her bubbly attitude that screams teen spirit. As she is the first of the cast we're introduced to, we're led to believe that if any story exists, it is centered around her. In fact, Miku reminds me of Miley Cyrus's earlier years as Hannah Montana, a teenager not yet influenced by adult themes. Once you progress through the beginning levels as Miku, other characters are introduced in the songs or music videos, but only for the purpose of completing the roster. Again, without knowing the background of these characters or what their purpose is within the story, it is difficult to care about the exposition or find reason for completing the game. Gameplay. Gameplay is centered around carefully timed button mashing with matching on-screen cues. The goal of each level or music video is to accurately press each cued button in sync with the song's beats or lyrics. Your accuracy is rewarded with flawless singing by the vocalist and extended song time if you meet certain requirements. Your progress during each level is measured by a purplish bar at the bottom of the screen. The bar can grow or shrink adversely depending on the timing of your button mashing. If you miss a beat, the singer's vocals will be muted for the duration of that note, causing a noticeable interruption in the song. One too many of these mistakes will abruptly end the level. You must reach the indicated marker towards the end of the progress bar to complete that level. Failure to do so means you are out of sync with the cued buttons for a majority of the song. Thankfully, you're given the immediate opportunity to redo the song for an improved score, even if you successfully completed that level. For your starting songs and the ones you unlock, you only have 2 difficulty options of easy and normal. You must first complete each level with the normal difficulty to unlock hard mode, and so on. By completing levels, you unlock more songs and what are called Diva points, a currency used in the game to customize your character or gameplay experience. Presentation. Presentation was a mixed experience for me. For just about every positive observation I made, I ran into an equally negative one to negate it. For example, it was refreshing to see development artwork during each loading screen. In fact, this was so abundant it took me over 2 hours of gameplay until I ran into my first duplicate loading screen. But even then, I kept encountering new artwork each time. That said, unfortunately loading screens are abundant and unnecessary in many cases. I didn't like having to wait just to go from switching in-game menus to perform simple tasks like buying and equipping items I purchased for my characters. And also to point out the obvious, the majority of song lyrics and dialogue by the characters is not only in Japanese, but in a high-pitched robotic-sounding voice. For newcomers to Miku's character, or the Japanese language for that matter, this can be a make-or-break feature that impacts the duration of gameplay. As for someone who has studied Japanese for over 3 years and enjoys these melodic chiptune sounds, I personally find Miku's voice refreshing. But then again, not everyone may welcome the chipmunk-like tunes with open arms. Fortunately, the in-game menus and instructions are in a comprehensible English, and the tutorials provide novice gamers to the genre of gameplay some added comfort. My last bit on presentation also includes the gameplay itself. As much as I enjoy the variation in song melodies and music videos, the on-screen cues were often distracting and caused me to forget about admiring the work of the level's visuals. I felt that I needed a bottle of Ritalin in many cases just to even bear through the level itself. Replayability. This is probably the greatest feature the game has to offer. As I mentioned earlier, when you complete a level, you require an X amount of Diva points, which you can then spend on character customization to gameplay experience. Let's say you want to buy clothing, food, or room decorations for Miku and her friends. Not only can you do this with your Diva points, but by doing so, you build a relationship with the characters as they will surprise you with spontaneous singing or random activities. With your Diva points, you can also purchase assists or challenges prior to selecting a song level. This can help you conquer challenging songs on a harder difficulty with some ease, or you can make songs you've mastered substantially more difficult. For certain songs, you can also select which character will be the main lead singer or solo singer, and also how they appear based on your previous Diva point purchases. Lastly, there's an added edit mode where you can customize character clothes for a specific song, their dance routine, and then upload your level preferences online for others to experience. This is a great reason to return to this game and challenge your friends while showing off some creativity. Final verdict. From a game that was originally exclusive to the PS3 and then ported to the PS Vita, I was glad to see its arrival. I was also surprised to discover that its Vita release is only currently available on the PSN network and no physical Vita copies of the game are available. Overall, I must say that this game has an equal share of pros and cons. Gameplay is fun and rewarding at times, but often you might struggle to find purpose of character or plot progression, or if it even exists. Are you just mashing away to unlock the next song? Or do you find satisfaction as a completionist by unlocking new items and showing off your creative level designs? Strictly grading the game for what it has to offer, I give Hatsune Miku Project Diva F an Overshield score of 6 out of 10. Now I know to some of you it sounds like that's just barely passing, and to be honest, this game is geared for a specific audience and not everyone has the same interest in Japanese pop culture. Not to mention, missing crucial elements like character and story development are missing or difficult to piece all together. But don't get me wrong, this game is fun and I do keep coming back to it, as if I could give it my personal score, I'd rate it a 7 out of 10. So now that I've added confusion with this overall score, let me leave you with this. If you like anime, playing games with songs, or you're just a die-hard completionist, this game is for you. The mission-like setup with the music videos helps you pace your gameplay and gives you reason to come back for more. But for anyone demanding a 5-star plot with Oscar-like performances by in-game characters, will probably leave disappointed. Basically, this game is not The Last of Us. However, I thoroughly enjoyed this game and consistently spend my lunch hours doing so. I hope that if you check out this game, you find something for yourself, or perhaps maybe something enjoyable for someone else you know. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of TheOvershield.com and checking out this review. Again, please share and like what you see, and this is Manny signing off saying, Yoku dekimashita!